Hi, my name is Brian Vendiola, and this is No One's Watching, a show that no one is watching. I'm back with another haul video, pickups video rather. Same thing, for February. You know, a month these days feels really short, but when I put all the things that I got in February all in one spot, really puts things in perspective, because there are things in here that feel like distant memories at this point because yeah, a lot of these things that I got at the beginning of the month, and it feels like I got these things last year, if anything. So again, more video game stuff, more vinyl, a couple figures, or rather model kits, and something else that we'll get into at the end. But yeah, let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about in the video game world is this. It is a RetroTink. Oh, it's dusty. It is a RetroTink X5 Pro. This is a video upscaler. Essentially, it takes your video game consoles, which is primarily what this is made for, and it allows you to play your old consoles on your HD TV, which is obviously something you can't do. So far, I have used my PS2 on here, and it looks really good, at least as good as it can be. It's not gonna remaster your games on the spot or anything, but the PS2 games just inherently are still gonna look a little bit blurry, but it's just, it looks as good as it can be, very as crisp as it can be using this. And obviously, you know, it's not limited to the PS2. If I ever buy future consoles, like a GameCube or a Dreamcast, I could use it on here. It has component inputs, and composite can be used here as well. The green, if I could point at it, acts as the yellow cable. There's an S-video on the side here, and SCART, which is, to my understanding, a European input, which supposedly is very good, but I've never used it. There's a bunch of different modes on here that you can put scan lines and stuff, and a bunch of settings. Anyway, really cool. I hope to use this for videos in the future on the channel. And I think another cool thing, again, I said primarily for video games, but you could plug in a VCR in here and essentially rip old VCR tapes if you want as well. Any input that can fit this can be outputted into your HDTV, or if you have like an Elgato, you could stream it on your computer. It is very expensive, unfortunately. This is $300 US, and the conversion rate plus shipping, it was a hell financially. But it's a good investment because yeah, you get to play PS2 really well, lag free. I should mention I played Amplitude, which is a rhythm game on here, and there is no latency at all, which, you know, rhythm games, you need it to be accurate, super accurate and on time for you to play those games properly, and this does a really good job doing that. So yeah, so I got that, which is pretty much why I bought a lot of the PS2 games that I showed in the previous video, is because this was on the way. So super excited for that. Like I said, definitely gonna use that for future videos, hopefully. Moving on, The Legend of Dragoon for PlayStation. It's a JRPG, one of my favorite JRPGs. I used to have the greatest hits version of this, and I lost it. So I decided to hop on eBay and get a copy of this, the non-greatest hits version, and it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna show it off too much, but yeah, kind of underrated JRPG. I have to replay it just to get a new, fresh opinion on it. But from what I remember, it was pretty inventive. The turn-based gameplay featured sort of a rhythm game aspect to it. When you're doing moves, you press combos, and it is somewhat like Paper Mario. It looked cool. The characters, I remember, were really cool, memorable to me. I remember this was the game. It says it on the back, even like 3 years in the making with a development team over 100. Oh, I almost said 500. 100 members. It does look good for a PlayStation game. I'll say that. But I remember that being. It's literally the first bullet point on here, and that was kind of a huge selling point of like, yo, we spent time on this. And these days video games take forever to be made, so 3 years seems like nothing at this point. And with that, I picked up a memory card. Remember those? When I put in Legend of Dragoon and just to see if it worked, I totally forgot that you need a memory card to play those games because you can't save on a disc. And I have a PS2 memory card, but you need a specific PlayStation 1 memory card, and this is the RetroBit memory card. I got that. Legend of Dragoon, really cool game if you have a way to play it. Next up, at the end of my pickups video last month, I brought up that I wanted a copy of Need for Speed Underground for the PS2, ordered it on eBay, and it came in a couple days later as the GameCube version. And the GameCube version I got is in a like Blockbuster case, so it's not even the right case. Anyway, whatever. I contacted them and said, yo, you sent me the wrong game. I could send this one back. Can you send me the proper game? And they're like, yeah, actually, no, I mean, just keep that one. We'll send you the new one the next day. I'm like, great. Anyway, yeah, I got the PS2 version. But it's the greatest hits copy. The one I specifically ordered was not the greatest hits copy. And again, it's in like a DVD case. No, I'm being picky here. Whatever, but I want my shit, pretty accurate. If I open up We Heart Katamari, it has a memory card section. I don't need that, but again, I wanted the legitimate thing, so I didn't follow up with them. I could have. I think the reason why I didn't follow up is just because they were nice about saving me the hassle of sending back the GameCube copy. They just let me keep it. Not like I need it, but I don't like the mailing process. It gives me a lot of anxiety. So who do you know has 2 copies of Need for Speed Underground? Let me know, because I want to hang out with them and play Lil Jon. Moving on, PNP Games, website that I mentioned in the previous video and probably future videos. Every now and then I like to see or check out their Sega Genesis section, or I browse a lot of retro games on that website as well. They haven't had a lot of stuff that I wanted as of late, but I checked one day and there were 2 games that I really wanted that popped up, and that is Streets of Rage 1 and 2. So I saw those pop up on the site, and I immediately had to get them because they're of the most popular Sega Genesis games, of course, and they're kind of hard to find, and they're way more expensive at other places that I've checked, like eBay. Local video game stores have these. If you're buying these complete in box, you're spending 120 or 150 for these, but for whatever reason P&P sells these for way cheaper. The only thing is that I totally forgot, even back then, they had Sega has their own form of greatest hits, and this is a Sega Classic, so it's not the original box art for it, but and they didn't mention that on the site, but whatever. I got a copy. I got both copies. It's really cool looking at these, or at least it's really funny and I guess charming. The very goofy text on the box. On the streets, it's only two of them against the hordes of attacking scum. Slam into pipe-wielding weirdos and bash them with their own metal. Throw an uppercut or an elbow smash. These goons keep coming. So, great two-player action. First sentence right there. So yeah, got these. Really good beat 'em up Genesis games. Moving on to the future, current gen. P&P continuing on, I bought more games from them. These went on sale, so I haven't actually had time to play them. I'm just grabbing them because they went on sale, and that is Skyward Sword for the Switch and Lost Judgment for PS5. Skyward, basically, Nintendo games don't go on sale, and at least the first party stuff. They've been better about putting things on sale, but they don't go any more lower than $20 off. So, and you're typically, like for a week, it will be on sale, and then you won't see it on sale for a couple months or perhaps the rest of the year until next year, until they put these back on sale. So you really just, whenever you see first party Nintendo games and you want them cheaper, you kind of have to hop on them when you first see it. And Lost Judgment is the sequel to Judgment, to which I have not played both of these. I'm just getting this to complete the Yakuza games because it's in the same universe to my understanding. I just wanted to complete my collection of Yakuza games. So excited to dive into that. I don't know when, but that's fun. And these two games are brand new for this year. Exciting. Pokemon Legends Arceus. I've heard them been pronounced two different ways. This came out at the beginning of February, and it's a open world Pokemon game. They're trying to reinvent it with this game, the Pokemon formula, as many know it. The way you're exploring the worlds and catching Pokemon is way different, and in my opinion, really good and satisfying to catch Pokemon. You don't have to battle every Pokemon you see. You could just simply catch all the Pokemon. The story is interesting, though not to get into spoilers. The ending kind of, I don't know, it didn't sit well with me. Not like Pokemon games had interesting story to begin with, but it was set up in a way where I was like, oh, I'm intrigued. I want to see where this is going. And didn't really go anywhere. But I enjoyed playing it all the way through. And I think this should be the way that they make Pokemon games in the future. So we'll see where that goes. There's no Pokemon gyms because it takes place in the past or a pseudo past. Like the Pokeball has just been invented in this game, and everyone in the town that you're in is scared of Pokemon and are still learning about Pokemon. So there's no Pokemon gyms or what you'd know from the original games in this. So it'll be interesting to see how they can integrate this gameplay into something more modern Pokemon. Pretty sure this sold like really well. So I could only imagine that they continue with this formula moving forward. And if they go back to the original formula, that's kind of a bummer, but I'm gonna still play them. So yeah, Pokemon Arceus. That was Pokemon Arceus. So up next, I got the deluxe special edition. I don't know if it's it's a special edition of Horizon Forbidden West. Whoa. Came out last week. I think last week, at least from the time of this recording. And I'm still playing it. It's a very long game. And I have a bit of a bias when it comes to Horizon. I actually know someone who works there. Shouts out on the community manager. I'm really enjoying the game. It looks fucking good as hell. I feel like I spend most of the time playing. I spend most of the time not playing and just walking around the world, just seeing how the lighting hits everyone, and it makes characters and scenes and vistas look really nice. If you don't know, this is the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, open world adventure game that takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where there are different tribes and mysterious robot animals are hanging out. At least in the first game, you're kind of discovering why that is, and the secrets behind all of that. I mean, this is the continuation of course. So, but I have to say, Guerrilla is just stepping it up merch-wise with Horizon, especially because I feel like, I mean, they got the game obviously, and I was not expecting this packaging with the game. Sorry, the light is much. It's pretty thick. I haven't seen a video game packaged in this way, at least a special deluxe edition. Because what I was expecting was just a simple, this is the Death Stranding steelbook. And it's just a slip case with a steelbook. I was just expecting that. Because most games come like that if you're getting a deluxe edition. But this one is like really nice. Has a really nice thick box, a steel book inside, and an art book as well, which I have not looked at because I don't want to spoil myself. But it comes with like a little, look at that angle. It's got angles too. And on top of that, you know, they have I forget the names of it, but they have bigger deluxe versions of the game, which most games have, where there's a giant figurine inside. Cool, that's cool. But then on top of that, they announced a Lego set that's coming out in May, and you know I'm gonna get that for sure. They have an Nendoroid, I think, coming out. They have a board game from the last game. They have plushies, I'm pretty sure. They just have everything. They keep making stuff. They have vinyl records from the last game as well. They just have everything, and I think that's really cool. Even for something like Ratchet and Clank or Uncharted, they don't have that level of merchandise, at least that I'm aware, because a cool Ratchet and Clank figurine would be cool, or a Lego set or something. That'd be really cool. But Horizon has that, and to be honest, that's like the last thing I would expect from an action adventure game like this. I will eventually finish this. I hope to finish this in time. I don't want to rush it either, but because the games are coming out, cough cough, Elden Ring, that's another game that I want to play. I'm gonna take my time with this, hopefully, but it's also gonna take me like 70 to 80 hours or something to even 100% it. Anyway, really good video game. Okay, I think that's video games. Pretty sure that's video games. Video games, they're great. Moving on to figures and model kits. Last pickups vid, I said I ordered the Crayfish, the Evangelion Crayfish, and they have arrived. Bow from Hobby Link Japan. So these aren't Bandai model kits, the makers of Gundam kits. These are actually by Fujiri. I don't know if you could see that right there. So different company that I'm not familiar with. Actually, they're right here. Bow. Check out my friends. They look real, as like if you just have these, they look like I'm holding crayfish right now, and they're pointy and they kind of hurt like real crayfish, at least when you're holding the parts and slapping them together. Like look at the tail even, and all the legs. You have to like, there's like a bunch of tiny legs on the tail. I don't know if you can see that. They have to put together, super realistic for crayfish. First off, crayfish model kit. Never seen that before, of course. Second, a crayfish model kit based off of Evangelion is just whack as hell. Whack in a good way. There's articulation here on the tail. They look delicious. I would eat these. Yeah, these were fun to build, but mentioning the company that made these, it felt it's not as snappy or I don't know how to describe it, nice as Bandai model kits in terms of just the process. The manuals are pretty funny because it's in Japanese, but there's a lot of text and photographs of a crayfish and like Misato and Shinji in it. The build was fine. I mean, it's kind of, I don't like touching it as much because the parts, it's not loose, but you don't want to move them around as much because I'm just afraid that something's gonna pop off. The legs, I don't need them super articulated, but like they're pretty simple. The claw, I feel like the arms are maybe one of the more articulated parts. You could close them, and just a lot of small parts. And even the bags were weird. The runners that came with the kit were they're normally in plastic bags, but these ones were in plastic bags, but they were stapled shut as opposed to like sealed shut. They were staples in holding it together. There's stickers on the tails. They look really awkward and they don't really sit nice with the plastic. Very bumpy. Crayfish turns out to be very bumpy creatures, so it doesn't sit flush or nice on the tails, but whatever. I mean, overall cool. I'm glad I have these. They're so goofy and they just sit at the top of my desk looking like real menacing. I don't know like what else they could do with I love that they're going crazy with model kits. Licensed crayfish model kits. I don't know what animal I would want next. I don't know what other animals you could really do that would be really cool as a model kit. It would have to be just sea creatures because they have just inherent, they're like crayfish have armor like a Gundam. Model kit. Those are the only model kits I got this year for this month. The ones I want aren't really, they're not available yet. I don't expect to see them for a while, honestly. If they drop next month, then it happens, but I feel like I bought most of my model kits at the beginning of this year, what I've shown in my last video. So that's pretty much what I got there. Actually, something I didn't mention in the beginning of like what I got or what I collect, but movies too. I like movies, and I ended up getting the Spider-Man trilogy, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, 4K Ultra HD. My preferred Spider-Man, just because it's the one I first watched. I mean, at the time it was the only one, really. Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 are here. Spider-Man 3, obviously awful. 1 and 2, amazing. And digital code. I already used it, so you can't really steal it. The only thing about the digital codes these days, they don't They make you use Google Play, and I don't use Google Play. So I want these in my iTunes, but whatever. I'm pretty sure those download codes aren't even 4K either. So anyway, good movies. I'm not even a Marvel person. That's pretty much where it stays in terms of Marvel movies. Okay, vinyl. Vinyl is up next. I have a huge stack. I bought a lot this month, but I want to start off with something first. You know, vinyl care, very important. And most people, when they buy a record, might have a plastic sleeve like this with it, which is cool. We go to a record store downtown. They often sell it with a plastic sleeve. But what I've seen on the internet, primarily TikTok, are vinyl enthusiasts having their vinyl in a plastic sleeve like this, but also putting the actual record on the backside like that. And they kind of swear by this setup where they take it out of the vinyl jacket and put it in the back to prevent things like vinyl ring wear on the jacket. If you've seen really old vinyl jackets that have like kind of the ring like worn into the sleeve, it's to prevent that, but also it allows you to take out the record real quick, pop it on the player. Ease of use, convenience, it's nice. Let's talk about it. The reason why I bring this up is because the website Vinyl Storage Solutions.ca, they made these sleeves. This is my copy of Mad Villainy, the God version. I think they just call it God version. It's a God mode. Anyway, Vinyl Storage Solutions.ca. I don't have to say .ca. But they made these sleeves for that purpose. So this is what I think they call a dual pocket plastic sleeve for vinyl records. And what that means is that you got two different pockets for one, your vinyl jacket, and two, for your records. So that you take out the records, but your vinyl jacket is still covered up. It's still secured inside the sleeve. Instead of this where, it's just all in one. It's not super duper protected. They sell different versions of the sleeve. The one I have right here, I'll just fully take this out. Super clear, at least clear as it can be compared to this, where it doesn't really pick up well, but it's a little bit more cloudier. So this is the dual pocket sleeve that I bought. Has a single flap for one side, and I use it for the jacket side just because I won't be taking out the jacket as much. I know that's part of the vinyl record experience is, looking at the artwork and all that while you're listening, but sometimes you just want to put on the record, right? So I think for the most part, I'm not gonna take out the jacket. And the other side is just open. It's just like a open sleeve to put your vinyl records in. And arguably, you might say you want to protect the vinyl records more with the flap covering it. And you're not wrong, but I like the ease of getting this out real quick. It's not like I'm slinging discs or anything, but already trying to take out the vinyl jacket is kind of a hassle, and I can only imagine the same with having it here. But they do sell dual flaps, so you could have flaps on either side if you really wanted to cover it up completely. So I bought a bunch of those. I think I just bought 100 of these dual pocket sleeves. I've also been buying you've already seen it, but these are their inner sleeves. They're rice paper inner sleeves, and I've been replacing all of the paper sleeves that most of my records come in, because paper supposedly damages your, over time, not, you know, immediate, but over time damages your records. It says right here, archival quality, non-scratching, acid-free. They're also good about static. That's another big thing about vinyl records, is that you know, when you take it out of like a paper sleeve, or the sleeves that come with records, they tend to kind of get sticky, or feel sticky because of all the static, and you don't want that. So I'm getting real deep into preserving my vinyl collection, and I intend to buy more. The only thing about these sleeves is that they don't fit everything. It's kind of trial and error. This is my My Bloody Valentine record, and I was gonna put one of these on here, but this jacket is way too big to do that, so I'm just doing it the traditional way. They do sell oversized versions of these to fit bigger records. I've not purchased them yet. I might try to for next time, my next order. Yeah, I got a bunch of these sleeves, and you'll see them with my upcoming records that I bought as well. Oh yeah, sorry, I also bought them for my 7 inches as well. And this is actually the dual pocket, so you could see just a smaller form of it. My 7 inches I don't play as much, so I ended up getting the dual pocket anyway. Actually, what really happened is that I meant to buy the dual pocket for the 12 inches, my regular LPs, but when they came in, they ended up being single pockets, and bummed that I accidentally did that, but in the end realized that I actually prefer the single flap as opposed to the dual flaps, because yeah, like just right there, it was like hard to put this back together. Not impossible, obviously, it's just the convenience is right here. Like boom, I got my records. So vinyl storage solutions.ca, really cool. Canadian. I don't know where they're based from. I think also Winnipeg. Winnipeg is apparently bumping. They got cool video game stores, and if I'm not mistaken, like this company, I'm pretty sure it's just a dude who is an engineer and really likes vinyl. Like if you go on the site, there's a lot of mumbo jumbo about how these are made, and the quality, and why vinyl should be put into this material, plastic material. So support them. You can get these rice paper sleeves made by other brands at your local record stores as well. I just got the vinyl storage solutions ones just because I'm ordering from there, and they're great. They're really good. But if you don't want to order from there, you could, go into your local record store and buy some there, and they're just as good, at least from what I understand. So, but I just wanted to match. I wanted to match the brands. Next up, so this is what I got, record-wise, vinyl-wise. Purple Rain, Prince, and the Revolution. I haven't owned this yet. It's purple. Oh yeah, it's a purple record pressing. It's not just purple. It's like a swirly purple, which does not pick up on camera at all. There's swirls in it. Oh, that's unfortunate. You can't really see it. It just looks plain purple, but there's swirls in it. I'll shoot a video of it or post a photo, but really cool. I mean, classic record. I'm not gonna say much about it because it is what it is. This one, Big Thief, their new record. Dragon New Warm Mountain, I Believe in You. A nice pencil drawing. To my understanding, eco-pressed records. I don't know what that means aside from, at least I think it means that they recycled vinyl records, colored records, and pressed them into different colors. So this is the first plate, and this one is the second. Bow. It's like a blue, but it's all random. So if you buy this record, you're not going to get these colors, or you might, but it's just whatever records that they were recycling. Yeah, I don't, Big Thief, if anything, I'm not too big a fan of their previous work. It was good, it's just it wasn't my thing. But this one, 1 hour, it's they don't say it's a double LP or double album, but it's like a 1 hour 20-minute record, which is, I stay away from those. But this one has really good flow, and you know, by the time it ends, you're like, oh shit, I listened to 1 hour 20 of a record. It does a really good job of making you not think of that. Alt country, but also lo-fi, indie pop. I think that's why it has good flows, because it kind of jumps between those styles, but all at the same time being super consistent, and nothing stands out as like, oh, why this sounds out of place. It all has good flow and it all makes sense together. But again, it is also 1 hour 20 long record, so maybe not a huge selling point for a lot of people, but I'll say that I enjoy this record a lot, considering. And oh god, I'm gonna botch her name. Lykke Li, Wounded Rhymes, the 10th anniversary edition, classic from 2010, you know, because 2010 is now considered classic. This is the original artwork. Like the Justice record that I mentioned in the last video, I've been revisiting a lot of the albums that I listened to late high school, early college, and this was one of them. And damn, it's good. It's still good. This one, it being the 10th anniversary edition, is a double LP, with the second LP being remixes and like lost sessions. So it's really nice. Speaking of 1 hour 20 plus, is the new Beach House record, Once Twice Melody. This is the deluxe version. I don't think they call this the loser edition any. This is from Sub Pop. Beach House is from Sub Pop, and a lot of their special editions were usually called loser editions. I don't know if this was called a loser edition, but this is the deluxe version of this album. It's really nice. So again, hour 20 long album, and it's because they divided it up into 4 different chapters. I don't know if you can see that. So essentially you have 4 tiny EPs in here, but I don't want to sell it as EPs. They're meant to be listened to. Actually, they're not. You don't have to listen to this in order, but they tell a story, if anything, or they're meant to be under one umbrella. Opens up like this, if I could hold it up. It's not like a lid, it actually opens up like this, so I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to wear it out or anything. So I actually have the rice paper on these records as well. So it's a gold and a clear pressing, which is really nice. The gold looks really cool, elegant. The clear is just clear. There's no texture to it. Inside, sleeves are holographic. There's no ribbon to pull out these records, so I have to like yank them out like this. There's a book. Oh god, this is awkward as hell. Really nice book. It's thick. I mean, it doesn't look thick here, but it's thick for a vinyl record. Art book, art and lyric book. Really nice. And posters. posters, two big ass posters. Not gonna open them because they're big. Really like this record. It's Beach House. I have pretty much their entire discography aside from, I think I don't have their Rarities album. It's probably the only thing I don't have. It's a long time Beach House listener. This one is, it's not more of it, but it is still Beach House. So they're just, you know, still expanding, still being able to expand on their sound, which is really cool. You could say, you know, one would be tired of their sound. Like, you could easily be tired of their sound because they are essentially the masters of dream pop, and how far can you go into making dream pop interesting for a decade plus, but they're still doing it. They're still making that interesting. So the last vinyl that I'm going to show off here, Streets of Rage. I just showed that off. I got the vinyl for it, yay! These are the data discs pressings. They just recently repressed these and put them on sale, so I hopped on that. Incredible soundtracks to a video game. I mean, I just listened to this album as if it's an album. Sorry, I listened to the soundtrack as if it's an album, and which you could get on Bandcamp. I think they like remastered. They even talked to Yuzo, sorry, excuse me, and got him to like remaster it from his original tapes or something. And so it sounds really good. These are banger soundtracks to a video game, and I needed them on vinyl, colored vinyl as well. Each comes with these like really good art cards too. This is from Streets of Rage 1. Bow. Streets of Rage 1 comes with a red vinyl. Really nice. Red transparent. Streets of Rage 2 is a double LP. And it comes with clear. Oops, sorry. Actually, this one comes with art cards, which comes with a really terrifying artwork. So art cards here. But then this like scares the shit out of me. Oh my god, that face. So scary. And that's like a poster. So there's 3 things in here, plus a double LP on clear vinyl. Kind of a cloudy clear. So that's Streets of Rage, but I also got Golden Axe. The data disc pressing of Golden Axe. So this is Golden Axe 1 and 2 soundtracks. Golden Axe is one of my favorite games, but the Thief's theme, YouTube that shit. It's a banger. To be honest, Golden Axe 1 was the one I played the most. 2 I didn't have, but it comes with 1 and 2, so I can't do anything about that. But honestly, just buying this soundtrack for Thief's theme alone, like, that is a banger of a song. You're gonna listen to it and be like, what the hell is Brian thinking? But very nostalgic for the music in this game regardless, at least in Golden Axe 1. Just because I've played that game over and over again, it's just stuck in my head. So that's that for vinyl records. Coming down to the end of the the episode. I guess it's an episode. Just to preface, I get a text from my good friend, shouts out Nick, and they sent me a picture of some Pokemon cards, which actually this is not planned. I'm wearing a Pokemon sweater. I swear to God, I didn't plan this. Send me a picture of Pokemon cards that they got, and if I already have an interest in something but haven't acted on that interest, and someone, a friend or whoever, says that they're getting into that thing, I'm easily influenced by that. Pokemon cards, I've collected them as a kid. I've then later stopped. Of course, I don't want to say I grew up, but I just didn't. I didn't have money to invest in that hobby. But obviously, you know what's going on the internet with Pokemon cards, which is pretty wild to me because it's more about, you watch these YouTube videos and these unpacking videos and card opening videos, and they're only seeking out the holo cards. They are cool cards. Like I don't disagree. Like I like watching that stuff. It's just more about the money aspect of it, and like reselling and getting it graded, and as opposed to the, hey, like how well does this fit in my Pokemon card deck if I'm going to use it. It's not about the trading card game anymore, which I find fascinating because they're essentially printing money at this point. They might as well be printing money at this point, and this might as well be like the millennials investment. Like you get into stocks and shit, but like I'm getting into Pokemon cards because they're gonna just raise in value as the years go by. So I got Pokemon cards. I've been eyeing these. This is the Celebrations 25th anniversary celebration set that they came out with, I think, end of last year. I've been drawn to this set because it you know, it sells me on nostalgia. They made fancy versions of classic cards. All the cards in the set are holographic, and it's only like 48 cards or something, as opposed to a normal set is like what, 100 or so cards normally. And yeah, it's meant to be like a collector's set, and I like that. I don't want to, you know, dive into the other sets, but yeah, I just dove deep into getting Pokemons in hopes of completing a set, because that's what I kind of wanted to do. I got a tin, and it comes with like it came with like a card and like a notebook for some reason, and a mini binder. I bought this binder that holds like the jumbo cards. There's a bunch of jumbo cards. Cool. I bought an Elite Trainer box and their like character, I don't know what these are called. They're just like Pokemon sets. All just to, you know, try to complete a full set. To which was super exciting at first, because I went all in. I bought sleeves. I bought like the thicker sleeves, what do they call it? The top loaders, bought binders. I went all in, and it was super exciting. What I showed here was bought in 2 different orders, to which the first order was obviously the most exciting. I was getting into a hobby that I've always wanted to get into. So each booster pack comes with like 4 cards, as opposed to what, like 11 or 8 or something. But because of the nature of this set, it being like a celebration, it's a collector's set. Mostly everything's holographic. They only limited it to 4 cards per pack. Anyway, I mean, this is it right here. This is most of it. I'm not gonna show all of it, I guess. I don't know, whatever. This is all I got, and that's an older set. And it's exciting. It was all the cards that I got were cool to look at. Look at all those Pikachus. But then I got my second order, because that first order was so exciting and I got all these new cool cards. It was really when the second order kind of turned me away from getting into Pokemon cards. I'm not gonna stop doing it, but when I got that second order, which was a lot, I got a lot of packs in that order. I forget which was in which order, but I opened those packs and it was just non-stop doubles. 90% of those cards I already had, and yeah, I only had just like a handful, like just maybe like 3 or 4 new cards that I didn't have in the set. And that really bummed me out because it was really expensive. And reading online like Reddit posts of people collecting Pokemon cards, they would pretty much say like, yeah, I went through like 300 packs and didn't get any of the cards I wanted. Or I bought a booster box, and still don't have a complete set, and that sounded exhausting to me. So like I said, I'm still interested in the hobby of Pokemon cards. Oh man, I don't know. I just have to either get these as gifts or pace myself, or just not give a shit, or maybe have a more focus than a smaller focus than completing a full set. Because I know most people are just like, yo, I'm gonna collect Mew cards, or I'm just gonna collect Squirtle cards or something, which seems more reasonable in the long run. Even the people who open Pokemon cards full-time on YouTube, which is insane, that can be your job, with the amount of Pokemon cards that they open, which also is seems super wasteful too, just all the cards that they go through. They only care about the holo cards, and they just stack up all the common ones that they have. It's like, what do you do with all of that? Anyway, it's weird. It's a weird thing that people are getting way into, and it's kind of bumming me out. But the cards look fucking cool. They look cool as hell. Pretty much all I wanted to say about that. A bit of a phase, but it was exciting. This was at the beginning of the month that I did this. I feel like every month, I'm like, yo, I bought all the things last month. I'm gonna be really good next month. The coming months don't have anything I really need, so I'm gonna save money. And then shit like this pops up. And I'm getting way deep into... I'm finding excuses to spend more money for whatever dumbass reason in my mind. Looking into next month, I have Elden Ring on the way. And that's funny because I've told myself that I wouldn't buy that game because the Dark Souls and Bloodborne, I think those games are really good. It's just I suck at them, so I never finish them, and I've bought all of them, sometimes at full price, and those are mistakes. And I was like, I'm not gonna get Elden Ring, but they made that game sound so fucking cool, and it looks really cool, and it seems more accessible. One of the big things was like, yeah, I grinded out those levels a lot whenever I got stuck on a boss. But for Elden Ring, you can, if you get stuck on a boss, you could just go somewhere else because it's open world, and you could just visit a new place and grind there, as opposed to grind the same level over and over again. That sounds really appealing to me, and that solves that problem. At least it sounds like it would. And it looks fucking cool. So I got Elden Ring on the way. I got a bunch of other stuff I guess I won't spoil, because I probably will show it in the next video. Like, fuck it. Well, actually, no. I don't care. I have Gran Turismo 7 on the way. Triangle Strategy is pre-ordered. The Kirby game comes out next month. I'm hoping my Analog Pocket shows up next month, because I'm still in the Q1. Maybe they delay that. I don't know. Oh, I'm actually getting a big order, I think, from Cromulent Records, like big city pop order from Cromulent Records very soon, which might show up in the next video, which, goddamn, that's a lot. That was a lot of records that I pre-ordered that are just coming out, so it might be vinyl focused the next one. Anyway, that was the pickups video for February 2022. Thanks for watching. No one's watching. And have a good March. I'll see you in March with my crayfish. It's cray.